As a mountain climber, the dream climb is to summit the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. In the year 2000, I had the opportunity to be a mountain guide on this mountain for a select few clients who wanted to stand 29,032 feet above sea level, the very top of the world. In this small group, we had a climber named Al Hanna, who was 69 years old at the time. Standing on top of the world would make him the oldest summiteer of Everest at that particular time. We spent 2 months in Nepal trying to climb Everest from the south side. On this approach, there's a giant field of ice called the Khumbu Icefall. The Khumbu Glacier starts at the southern base of Everest and flows down to spill over a 2,000-foot cliff, causing the ice to fragment into giant ice boulders or seracs that collect sheets of snow that turn into avalanches. It's a beautiful but a dangerous place. Crevasses everywhere, collapsing ice seracs. An avalanche made this icefall the most unpredictable challenge of the climb. As a guide, I always remember that the goal is not for me to summit, but to do everything in my power to protect the safety of the group, especially the clients. Then and only then, if possible, the next goal is to get them to the summit. Climbing a mountain is a two-way trip. There's always a plan to get to the top, and there's always a plan to get back safely. When it was clear that we did not have enough time to make it safely back to camp in daylight, we made a difficult decision. We would turn around. Deprived of the summit, exhausted and struggling to continue, but motivated to get home to family and friends, we had to make one last trip through the icefall. As we're going through, we heard the creaking of the ice blocks falling all around us, and we could see the avalanches coming off of the surrounding slopes. In the midst of all this chaos, we reached an ice slope where I thought I could quickly climb down by facing away from the slope and jamming my crampon boots into the ice. After I put my left foot securely into the ice slope, I attempted to set my right foot into the ice. But due to my anxiousness to get down quickly, I didn't set my crampon securely. I skidded off the ice with my right foot and started to fall. I had planted my left foot so securely that it didn't release from the ice, causing my knee to dislocate as I fell down the slope. I quickly realized that I would not be able to walk out with everybody else. To keep our clients safe, we decided everyone else would go on to safety and I would try to make it back as best I could. Crawling over the blocks of ice and across ladders, what should have taken me about an hour and a half turned into 4 hours of searing pain. Nearly exhausted, I came over a rise and saw the Sherpas headed my direction. These were the same Sherpas that had been with us through the entire expedition. They had taken the rest of the team back to base camp and were returning to get me. To give you an idea of how profound that return was, it would be like you going back into a burning building to save someone you love. They didn't have to come back, and coming back into the icefall was as dangerous this time as it was when they left. It was because they valued me. The relationship we had was one of the things that mattered most to them, more than their own safety and comfort, possibly more than their own lives. They were willing to risk it all to make sure that I had a real chance to get out of there alive. That action taught me that I mattered. During dark times in my life, I think of them coming over that rise. Living my list of 100 that day didn't quite turn out like I thought it would. A life committed to thrive sometimes turns out differently than expected. But there is always a benefit, a lesson, a gift. Make your own list to thrive. Whether it's a list of just a few things or many, choose to thrive. Be intentional about how that is going to happen. Remember not to put things on your list that will be in conflict with the values you've identified. The list can be made up of things that you've already done, things that have helped you progress, or have given you purpose or meaning. You can put those on the list. But think deeply and thoughtfully about what you put on that list. Look for things that are important to you today, and they will be important to you in a decade from now. Once you put it on the list, don't take it off. If you want to discover more, I hope you take some time to explore other resources we have to offer here. Much of it is available for free, like the Orbits model. As you move forward on your own personal journey, remember that one step at a time is enough. The journey will be one worth repeating when your goals and actions are aligned with your core values. You will thrive.